Good evening to all of you. My name is Dilip Sadh. I wanted to take some time of yours and introducing myself, our company, and also introducing with a concept called Feasibility Study and why that is something helpful for your company. Let me briefly introduce myself. My name is Dilip Sadh. I have over 15 years of experience in SAP implementations across the globe. In past 15 years, I worked with some of the leading consulting firms in the world. I worked with Capgemini in the US. I was a director with them. I worked with Accenture, and I worked with IBM, and I was associate partner with them. In 15 years as a SAP professional, there are many companies where I did SAP implementation in US, Canada, Europe, India, and many other countries. These are some of the companies where I have done SAP implementation. I have worked cross industry, many other companies where I have done implementation. These are some of the areas, the modules which I focus. I'm a president of Kabir Consulting, Think Technologies, and Kabir Infotech. I have a deep academic interest in that. I have involved with various universities. I'm a visiting professor with Indiana University, Pennsylvania, where I teach an MBA course. These are some of the universities where I was involved. I teach, deliver lectures on a regular basis. In India, I must have spoken to several dozen companies and several dozen institutions on the topics of SAP and other leading technologies. I wanted to briefly introduce Kabir Infotech. Kabir Infotech Systems India Private Limited is the Indian branch of Kabir Consulting. We are focused on three things. We provide consulting services in which we provide services of business transformation in supply chain and customer relationship, in finance. We also provide various technology services in which we do ERP implementations, application development, various architectural services. We also provide various trainings. Primarily we focus on three areas of training: corporate training, training for institutes, and for individuals. Kabir has over 200 consultants across the world. We focus on SME. In fact, from SME perspective, we are one of the largest SAP implementation company. We have a SAP focus and various resources across the globe. Now I want to come back to some of the topic which is very close to my mind, and specifically for small and medium-sized industries. These issues could be pertaining to any companies, but these issues are even more prominent for small and medium-sized industries. For example, how they can increase customer base, how they can improve customer service, how can they grow their business, how they can succeed in a very competitive environment. Specifically, small and medium-sized companies work in very competitive environment just because of their size. How they can react to the change quickly, how they can control cost. Some of these challenges always there. And even more important, how an SAP company can achieve a better profitability and better growth. Business journey for any company, and specifically for a small and medium-sized industry, is not without hurdles. And biggest challenge is how to grow faster and faster. Every company grows, you are growing. But that's not the challenge. The question is how we can achieve a faster rate of growth and expansion. That is not possible. And so many other business aspects is how to improve reach to the market, how can expand more customers, how can you improve the profits, how can you improve margins, how can we use better tools and technologies. That's one of the important aspects for a lot of companies, how to use better tools and technologies. One of the important aspects which I wanted to share with here is I was talking to one of a small medium-sized company, managing director, managing a small company with his son, and he said, Dilip, I worked 7 days in a week and get involved in so many day-to-day activities. I have no time left to focus how to grow, no time left how to expand. For a lot of these companies, that is the biggest challenge. How we can find time and how we can basically grow, expand. How we can get the information to support the decision and how not to get distracted by day-to-day activities. That's very important. For any business organization, there are three very important parts: business processes, people, and technology. When we look at any organization, that these are the three most important components to it: business processes, people, and technology. Business process and are the how we do business. People, what kind of people we have. And technology in this world is immensely important. You cannot succeed truly without having a great technology. Technology is these three are the pillars for any organization. A lot of people do ask me, what is the difference between a good organization and a great organization? There are a lot of things you can talk, but one thing which is very distinctly different: what kind of business processes they do, what kind of people, and what kind of technology components they have. This is year 2013. This is not 30 years, 40 years back, where you could or any company could succeed without using technology for a strategic advantage. And all the three has to go hand in hand: process, people, and technology. What we do at Kabir Consulting, we work with you. We help understand, we document your process issues, your process constraints, and then I try optimize or try identify suboptimal business processes of your company. We try to identify, quantify loss of the business value. That why, if you're not doing a business in such a way, what is the loss of the business value? And then we try to recommend what kind of business processes you should use. In that, we do a feasibility study in which we need a couple of hours of time. In that feasibility study, we basically collect information from you. We collect your business process information. How do you business process? One thing, very clarification, we do not need any information which you do not want to share. We do not need that. We want to know the process pertaining sales of inventory and all those. We do not know your prices, your tax, because a lot of those information is of no consequences to us, because we do not focus on them, because that is something you cannot change. These are governed by the government and the law, so we do not focus on those. We focus on the core processes of your organization, like sales, like procurement, like production, inventory, warehousing, HR, etc., finance. In that workshop, in a couple of hours, we tried to find the core business process of your organization. After we collect those business processes, we analyze them, we report them. A lot of these reports come to me. I also look at those processes. I talk to my students across various universities, discuss those information with them, and I try to find out what data is telling me. And after that, we submit a report to you. You get a physical report, and then we submit that report to you. In that, we do business modeling, means we give you process flow diagrams. After that, we do business feasibility study walkthrough, because we like to summarize, have a discussion with you and say, what did we find in that walkthrough, in that feasibility study? So we give a walkthrough to give you a synopsis of the findings, and then we also discuss with recommendation and prototyping. And one more important thing, for doing this activity, we do not charge. And the reason we do not charge is because we feel that working in these areas, we are looking for a long-term benefit. We want to be a partner in your growth, in your expansion. And this activity is the beginning of that step. For that, there is no charge, except your time and commitment to the cause of your organization. I hope you will find it useful, and very excited to talk to you in the near future. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.